Dordovic receiving a screen from Curry. Doesn't take it. Back over to Buttermore. Hits the left post. A low to high rip from Buttermore on the near sideline. Very similar to the shot that he had just a few seconds ago. Shot clock resets with 7 minutes to play in the second quarter. SU back on offense.
Well, Jacob Buttermore said after the UAlbany game, you can't let missing those shots get to your head. He just walked towards the SU sideline, shaking his head right to left, like, dang, I can't believe I missed that.
Siebold at X swings it all the way around for the Cuse. Back to number 14 below cage. Up top to Curry. Finds Buttermore. Lefty cradle. Whips a shot, and it's blocked in front. Cornell's defense with a big-time scoop, but let's see SU's forecheck. It's evident. Buttermore pushes him to the ground. Dordovic scoops it up. A 1-2 shot on, and it's stopped by Knust. A 2-on-1 for the Big Red. Cornell, a big-time stop. They clear going left to right. Chris Davis brought the ball over the restraining line. It was almost a guarantee that Syracuse was going to get into the double digits. The new goalie for Cornell says no, sir.
Tyler Cordes was wide open on the crease. He faked high, went low, and Knust got that big spoon down just in time between the wickets.
The Big Red back on offense after SU was pressuring the ball in their own offensive zone. Long on the right far sideline. Passes up to Alex Holmes on the far side. First time we're seeing the forward tonight. CJ Kurse near side. Face guarded by the long stick Kennedy. It's not a good matchup for the freshman. Around the horn, far side, Piatelli. 5.5 to play in this first half. Cornell on offense still. Sheehan, right goal line extended. Over to Long. Lefty, cradle, spins back to his right. He's double teamed. Kennedy puts a stick on him, but Long still has possession. Finds Piatelli, far side, trying to go in on the right. Whipped around. Rainbowed into the slot, and a shot clock violation. SU's defense has silenced the Big Red in the slot. They come up with another caused turnover. It's the 5th of the ball game for the Orange. SU clears from right to left with under 5 minutes to go.
Every time a Big Red attacker dodges, the Orange are pushing them back. Physicality is the name of the game right now for Dave Petramala's unit, and it was evident as after Sheehan passed the ball away for that shot clock violation, Max Rosa absolutely decked him into tomorrow.
Syracuse's forwards have also been aggressive, both with shooting and with the body. Here's Matteo Corsi on the near sideline. He gets pushed around, the ball's still in his stick. Righty cradle, jukes back to his left, has an open lane, passes to Siebold at X. He's left goal line extended, about 10 yards away from cage. Finds Corsi. Swung all the way around to Dordovic. Receives a screen on his left side. Lefty hip high cradle, no one face guards him. Dordovic cuts it back to the middle. Swings back to the outside. Lefty sidewinder, and he cashes in. There's Tucker Dordovic. He gets SU into the double digits. 10-4 Orange with under 4 minutes to go in this second quarter.
We said Tucker Dordovic's been quiet, but eventually you can expect some brilliance from the Oregonian. Gavin Adler's been locking him up all day, but finally he gets topside, stops on a dime, gets 9 cents change, and gets back to that weak side left hand that's given him so much today.
Let's throw it down to Cami Zaire, who was on the sideline for that play. Cam, it looked as if they weren't face guarding Dordovic until the last second.
Yeah, which is shocking because the entire game they have been face guarding Dordovic. He got a little bit of space, put one foot in front of the other. That allows him to dodge and plant his pivot foot. This is a Cornell team that doesn't give up that many goals per game. Over a little over 10. That's tied for 18th best in the nation. Right now, guys, Syracuse has 10 goals, and the first half isn't even over. And Tucker Dordovic, well, he might have just found his stride.
It's a tale of two Syracuses for sure, Cam. Syracuse had 2 brutal losses on the road to both Notre Dame and UAlbany. Now here inside the Dome, they are giving it to number 4 Cornell. SU back on offense. Zipping around cage is Curry, rings one off the crossbar. Scooped up on the far sideline, it's Gavin Adler who finds Knust, and Cornell clears going left to right.
And Cornell's defense thus far has been slow to react. The slides aren't quick enough. 1v1, they're doing all right, but it's the switching, the sliding, the communication for the Big Red that's failed them. Syracuse has also gotten a couple bounces and some transition goals as well. Those juice goals, as they're called, when your defensive guys score in lacrosse, really boost that momentum.
Well, Cornell could use some juice right here on offense. At X is Michael Long. Pass into the slot in the lefty cradle of Coyle. Rips a shot. Misses the crossbar high. A lot of shots that are going wayward up top for the Big Red. Long able to track it down for Cornell. But before the Big Red can go back on offense, Coach Gate will burn another timeout. 2.5 to go in this first half. Syracuse with a huge 10-4 lead over number 4 Cornell. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Syracuse Men's Lacrosse on the original home in the orange, WAER. UCFC doesn't want to put Florida on the power play. The Tropics are 18 of 40, 45%, which is best in the East and third best in the league. Running the power play is Pereiras. He passes over to his left. Shot on, goes and hits the netting. UCFC fans still letting the refs hear it, as we are 14 seconds in to the man up for the Tropics. Coughlin giving the referees some words as he shovels the ball all the way down the field. And that's a whistle on Ruggles. Jumped on the back of Moises Gonzalez. City fans looking for a card, but the best UCFC will get is a free kick in the offensive half. The 4 players on for UCFC: Bordeaux, Raymond, Gonzalez, and Schindler. Gonzalez puts a shot on, blocked by the wall. So Gonzalez tried to get a rip on, but Florida's defense has no avail. 90 seconds left in the power play. Pereiras crosses over the yellow line, passes to his right, shot on, goes wide. Picked up by Williams, left alley. Williams left corner, shot on, blocked away by Schindler. The cross attempt was unsuccessful for Florida. And going into the corner is Florida and Kyle Williams. Williams fakes it with his left boot, passes back, shot from Ruggles off the top. Ball in play, another shot, that one goes into the netting. And for the second time on this power play, Florida comes up unsuccessful. Coughlin whips it down the field, looking for Tim Goldman. And he finds Timmy. The ball goes out of bounds. And Florida will get possession with 2.5 to go in this quarter. 1 minute left, and Andrew Hoxie's penalty. Tropics setting up. Pereiras, lefty strike, hit, he scores! Victor Pereiras stings the top right corner, and we're knotted up at 2 with 2:14 to go in the third. The 19th goal on the power play for the Tropics this year, just past the outstretched fingertips of Andrew Coughlin. And after UCFC held the lead for a majority to the end of the first half, the Tropics have knotted it up. UCFC on the restart with Bo Yelovitz, right alley, cuts it back to the middle. Lefty shot goes wide. Off the plexiglass, UCFC keeps possession. Salmau in front of Utica's bench, playing tight defense, under 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. Andrew Coughlin sends it in to the near corner, but rather it goes out of bounds to the right side of the beer garden. 1:40 to go. The Tropics set up on offense after Victor Pereiras scored his second goal of the game. Sandoval, the right side, passes into the far corner. Back outside to Chad Vandegrift. the 32-year-old in his second season with Florida, leading this Tropic defense. Passes over to Sandoval. He stands in midfield. Minute 10 to go in the third quarter. We're tied up at 2 inside the Adirondack Bank Center. Hey, good morning, John. Let me know if you've heard this one before. Syracuse men's lacrosse lost in South Bend. For the 5th time in the last 6 trips, number 18 SU fell to number 16 Notre Dame 22-6 on the road on Saturday. The 16-goal loss was the worst loss for the Orange since, well, the 14-point defeat last year in South Bend. Coach Gate, was there any hope in taking down the Irish this time around?
It's easy to settle on what happened last year and realize that, we don't match up well against them, but you got to show up every play and do something about it. You can't just, otherwise you revert back to, this happened last year, they have our number. And that's kind of what went through, what happened today.
Notre Dame had Syracuse's number in a bevy of categories. The Irish beat the Orange in shots on goal, saves, turnovers, and man-up opportunities. A rough one for the Cuse, but it's time to have a short memory. Syracuse takes on UAlbany this Thursday, the first weekday game since March 2nd against Army. Face-off between the Orange and Great Danes is at 7 p.m. Countdown to face-off is live at 6:30. Number 4 Syracuse women's lacrosse beat Pittsburgh 18-6 on Saturday. Pitt led 4-2 after the first quarter, but SU outscored the Panthers 16-2 in the final 3 quarters. Attack Megan Tyrell scored 6 goals, a tie for her season high. And the Sabres fell 5-3 to the Panthers last night. Buffalo lost its 8-game point streak, a stretch that began on March 18th. With the win, Florida clinched a spot in the playoffs. Joe Puccio, WAER Sports. For the first 3 weeks of the season, Syracuse football ruled with a 2-quarterback system. Fourth-year starter Tommy DeVito dominated in the passing game. He threw for just under 400 total yards and a completion percentage around 62. Mobile transfer QB Garrett Schrader was sprinkled in for a few offensive drives, but it was clearly DeVito's ship to steer. Well, until week 4. To be specific, 2 hours before the Orange hosted the Flames from Liberty, the bearded gunslinger was given the keys to the boat. Admiral Schrader threw and rushed for triple digits in each of his first 2 starts. Last Saturday against Wake Forest, Schrader posted a hair under 180 yards on the ground and passed for 160. As phenomenal as the Mississippi State transfer has played in his short career in Orange, it's still not up to his standards.
I feel good. I'm gaining confidence as we go. I did not think the pass game was as efficient as I want. I was better than last week, I thought. But, we got to keep getting better and, be more efficient, especially down the field, and just continue to grow and develop. But it's got to happen now. Can't wait a couple weeks. It's got to happen this week.
There's no better time for Schrader to kick it into another gear than against Clemson. Although they may not be the powerhouse of years prior, they're still the Tigers, with multiple dogs on the defensive side. Quite frankly, the defense is Clemson's strength. The Paw Prints give up under 12 points per game and have only allowed an ACC best 6 touchdowns. That includes holding number 1 Georgia to 10 points in the season opener. So Schrader is going up against a strong unit, but what we've seen over the last few weeks is a young quarterback with a stupendous scramble ability and the trust from Dino Babers. He's taking advantage of his new role and given SU opportunities to win. The sophomore may not be pleased with every part of his game, but that hunger alone is the reason why Syracuse made the switch and named Garrett Schrader the big man on campus. Coming into the NCAA tournament, Syracuse was a stellar 6-1 inside the Dome. When the bracket got released last week, the Orange were pumped to be playing in their backyard. In today's game, SU had a 9-goal lead at the half, and that was the team's largest halftime advantage of the season. That first half powered third-seeded Syracuse over Loyola 20-8. The family-like atmosphere is now vitally important. The regular season is over, and Syracuse is the number 2 seed entering the ACC tournament. If they play the way they did today, well, they're going to give the big bad wolf North Carolina a run for their money. Stay right here on my Twitter, @TheRealJoePooch, to find out Syracuse's quarterfinal time and opponent on Wednesday. Reporting outside the Dome, Joe Puccio, Citrus TV.